Okay, so I fixed the build for the paper, and I've got about 45 minutes that I can work on it now. Turns out the build was broken because I had a DOI citation that had an extra space in it. It took me a while to track that down, but now it is. So let's get on into work. Oh, also, I figured out what was going on with my camera, and it was doing a whole bunch of emulation in changing the file format. Somehow it got switched to the wrong one, or the byte format, or whatever. So now it's all fixed, and there we go. Alright, so I am going to go over the current state of the paper and take it from there. But I just realized I gotta set up some music. I'll go ahead and set up my favorite thing to listen to while working on papers, MST3K. All right. So the main thing that I need to figure out today is what is left to be done on this, and then attempt to do that. So in doing so, I'm going to take a bit of a close reading, or at least until I lose sight of that and fall back on something else. Let's see. Transforming the data and understanding. This might, no, it's probably doesn't need a citation. All right, we talk about where it came from. Here we link to units, volume rendering. You know what? This needs a reference as well. Okay, so I'm going to check it out to a read-through branch. All right, in that DOI, the analysis platform was described. So what I'm going to do here is, at the time, in this paper, which enables identical scripts to analyze and visualize additionally discussed in detail in, and then I guess this should be section, and let's see, which section do we actually want to reference that in? Okay, that's not the one. That's data formats, abstracting simulation types. Yeah, there we go. Abstracting simulation types. So here we talk about grid, SPH octree. Okay, so let me make sure that that's the way that I've done this in the past. Let's see, future directions. No, that doesn't do it. User friendliness. Where am I? All right, I gotta find one of these that has it at the top. Okay, we do it on the same line. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So 30 abstract and simulation types. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go back to the paper. Here, I think I'm going to reference the same way that we do that there. Metadata aware. Oh, no, I got to go to introduction. So here I'll use the split it to the right, and now here, simulation types. So let's go down here to grid analysis. Um, okay, grid bit. Let's add this here. Now particle. Actually, okay, I don't have a very consistent naming scheme here, so I'll just fix that for now, and then I'll go through and update all the, I'll update the references in another pass at another time. Section octree analysis, I think that one is a hyphen. Nope, that one is underscore. Now this one is section unstructured underscore mesh. All right. All right, so let's go back to read through. Single biggest update has not been technical in nature. Probably want to get rid of that slash. Hey, intervening directed intense community result in the conversation. Okay. Community building is currently coming first. I'm not sure that, well, I don't really want to change that. I think that it's a really important thing to include. So I guess I'll leave that for now. The community building, there's categories. If you do not do so through the scripting interface. Okay. Greater detail here, section development. Okay, good. The next level of engagement centers around tasks that are not fully aligned with pragmatic, code-driven scientific inquiry. Yeah, so this is all about the value of documentation. And I think it's actually, even though this is not strictly technical, I think it's really good and important that we have this up here first. Engagement metrics. We actually don't include plots of the level of engagement on mailing list discussions, citation count of the original method paper. I think what I should probably do there is remove that, because that's the kind of thing that we include in grants, but I'm not keen on including that here just because it's a snapshot in time that I'm not sure is valuable to mention. And it's also, well, okay. Typically, measuring the degree of engagement in a project is done by examining the amount of activity that surrounds it. This can be through development, mailing list, or other discussion forum engagement, or through citations of a paper. These metrics are valuable but incomplete. Furthermore, their quantification presents challenges. How does migration of a project and a community from one form of interaction, such as a mailing list, to another, such as Slack or GitHub issues, impact the perceived growth or health of that project. As such, these are metrics that we have attempted to build a proxy for the development metrics by examining activity around pull requests. Now let's see, which figure is that in? Let's see. Okay, figure that's commit graph PR closing time. I think that's the right way to reference it. Figure, whatever. Opted to glide discussion of the activity of the project through the currently dominant medium of Slack. Alright, there we go. Project governance. Wait, why does this have a... Oh man, we're back to section numbers. Okay. Systems developed account for a number of important procedures. Yeah, okay, so this talks about the different things, including conflict of interest, membership groups, fertilizer arboretum, greenhouse, fallow, emeritus. Medican worked on all of these and came up with a pretty incredible system. Current development. The main branch is meant for development proceeding that does not drastically disrupt usage pattern. Yep, that's right. So when we had YT 4.0, we had a long-lived branch. That was actually really quite frustrating toward the end. But we got through it. Development of YT is relatively top-heavy. Contribution. Yeah, okay. And here's that. We gotta come up with... I gotta fix the PR. Okay, PR times .vl under content images. Let's see, do I max it out at 250? I do. Let's try. I think 500 should do it, but I guess we'll see. I don't really want to load it all up. Unit testing. Yeah. Using the nose tests framework. Alright, so this is a little bit out of date. We don't actually use nose tests mostly. Just use and recent efforts have moved these from using the nose test framework to utilizing the more modern and supported PyTest framework. Okay, however, I gotta note that here in contrast to the unit tests, answer tests rely on a custom built legacy plugin that has not been ported to PyTest. Efforts have stalled to complete this porting, and at the present, the answer testing framework still utilizes nose tests. Utilize the nose test library. This is discussed somewhat further in, and now I can cite the future works. So there we go, I used an underscore again. How do I, yeah, okay, is that, okay, well, all right. Code review is conducted on a line-by-line basis. In order to alleviate this, project maintainers utilize the auto merge feature provided by GitHub. There we go. It's not really recent anymore. Here includes either our suite of form matters most prominently include. Now this is kind of out of date, so let me make a new issue. Oh wait, can I do that from within here? Create an issue. There we go. Issue title. Update development procedure with rough etc. At present, we cite Pi upgrade black etc. But I think, and actually, let me check this first. Let's see, where do we check this? Project.toml. What? Why am I? Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. Project.toml. Yeah. Okay, I guess we. No. Looks like we still use rough, or we use rough now. Okay. Yeah, pre-commit config. How do I submit this? Yeah, create issue. Validation failed. What? All right. All right. Otherwise, I think that's correct. YTAP process. Yeah, we haven't done a YTAP in a while. All right, let's move on to the next area. I do like this. All right, for a grid volume that covers a given region, the relationship between the index value of a cell, for instance, ijk and its position in space, for instance, xyz or r theta phi, should those be in? No. Demonstrate one possible mapping. We note that specific data layout is not optimized for I/O throughput. Yeah. I always did think this was a clever way to present it. During instantiation of dataset object, helper object. Cylindrical, polar, spherical. Probably need to mention that. What other? Do we have any others right now? Cartesian, coordinate, cylindrical, geographic, polar, spectral, cube, spherical. Yeah. Nothing particular. I always did like the idea of that, but I could never get the generation of the code to follow what I was hoping for. I always ended up with way more code than I wanted. Selecting data through coarse and subsequent fine-grained indexing of data sources such as files. Alright, so here, this is the first one. Let's see, data objects. Okay. Implementing a selection in YT. Hold on, no. I meant to put that here. Implementing a new selector in YT requires defining several functions with the option. These functions include selection of a rectangle. Implementing new selectors is uncommon, as many basic selectors have been defined along with the ability to combine these through Boolean operations. Okay, so that covers a little bit of why it's not that common that you'd have to actually do any new selection development. But still covers what they are. Selecting from a grid is a two-step process. The first step is from a data set composed of grids is a two-step process. The first step is identifying which grids intersect a given data selector. Yeah, bounding box intersection checks. Within a given grid, the cells which are intersected are identified. This results because each grid object in the simulation this two-step process selecting data from an occ tree, organized data set utilizes a recursive scheme that selects individual occ nodes, and for each cell within that occ, determining which cells must be selected or child nodes recursed into. This does leaf nodes variant cells per sign. 1, 2, 4, 8. Number of nodes. Which data files intersect with a given selector, then selecting individual points. Okay, this is less clear than it ought to be because data files often these particles are stored in multiple files. Or multiple files can be constructed, or multiple virtual files can be identified by YT through subsetting and through applying range or subsetting to the full data set. Selection is conducted by first identifying which data files or data file subsets intersect with a given selector, then selecting individual points in just those data files. There is no hierarchy. There is only a single level of hierarchical data selection in this system, as we do not allow Given these set of hierarchical selection methods, all of which are designed to provide opportunities for early termination, each geometric selector object is required to implement a small set of methods to expose its functionality to the hierarchical selection process. Well, that's a mouthful. Which is this function. Okay, now the formatting in this area is not something I'm incredibly happy with. This is a special, not the entire bounding box, just a partial portion of the bounding box. Okay. Yeah, here's a region selection. A and not B for regions A and B from figures 4 and 5 respectively. Yeah, A, not B. Yeah, alright, fast and slow paths. This looks like it's sufficient. Okay. Yeah, we've got arbitrary grids, data collection, selection pool. I'm not sure I mentioned any as not being user facing. That's interesting. so this is all grabbed right from the code. Got a script that does it, but one platform names the density field dense and another is dense. Yeah, here we go. Maybe instead of the Unicode character 4, actually I don't know, is 4 correct there? Must be defined multiple times to refer to fundamentally identical quantity. Some codes may refer to things with the same name, but with different underlying definitions. What do I link to here? Oh, homonym. Yeah, celebrity homonym. That's pretty funny. All right, I might have to pull that out before I submit the paper. Okay. It's consistent ontology. Yeah. Yeah. This here should probably make a mention inside derived fields about here inside, great, where is it? Here, actually maybe I'll just write this right now. IT also provides and utilizes internally methods for constructing derived fields from templates. Templates in scare quotes. For instance, generation of mass fraction fields as demonstrated above can be accomplished by, let's see, is that mass? No, is that mass fraction density? Yeah, I think that's mass. I guess it's density for, no, okay. Generation mass fraction fields can be accomplished is conducted internally by YT through iterating over all known fields of type density and applying the same function template to them. This allows reasonably straightforward. No, I don't like relying on words like that. This allows this is applied for quantities such as species and such as atomic and molecular species, as well as for vector fields where operators such as divergence and gradient are available through templated field operations. Okay. Field aliases. Okay, I already covered this. Field detection, array-like operations. All right, this is nice. making the maximum along a given spatial axis. These operations provide data frame like methods for. Yep. I don't think I need a citation per data frame. This is not really just vectors because it can do two-dimensional. This is remapping. I'm not sure remapping is the right term, but okay. Abstracting simulation. Chunking and decomposition strategies. I got my 3JS figure in here. I don't know if I need a citation here about the metadata dominating it. I remember trying to tab complete on Luster. I get flashbacks of that every time I tab complete on a slow Samba share on my home network. Grid base, these are the grids. They're leaf by leaf collection for particle and occ trees. It's a little unclear, but okay, and my time for the day is just about up. I'm going to call it because I've got to take care of some stuff before my next appointment. Let me go ahead. Oops, that's the wrong directory. Let's take a look. Oh boy. This is frustrating. I'm going to go through. Let's see. Okay. Looks like it applied a bunch of linting to this. Okay, this one. Yes. This one changed all my stars to dashes. No. Let's see. Did it change? What did it change here? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What did it change here? Typically, there are two branches of development. Oh, it changed it to one space. Get rid of that. Get rid of this one. It's changing my stars to underlined. But that causes some issues with some of the citations, which I think we'll see in just a minute. I will let that go through. Let that go through. Let this go through. This one I got to be careful of. The double backticks are gone. That's interesting. I didn't even realize we used double backticks in there. That's the right thing to do, is to use single. So we'll commit that. Yep, commit that. Looks like it just reformatted this by pulling out the extra space. So I'll let that go through since it's a linter. Let that one go in. This one, no, I don't think I want this one in. So let's edit this one. I don't trust it to do this one right. cleanly. Okay. I really hate that it's applying this linter. I didn't realize it was doing that until... I guess we can do that one. All right, now. Yeah, no. Yes. Here, this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky, because a bunch of these, it's changing, and the regex that it uses for the linter is not sophisticated enough to always catch everything. So I'm going to say no to this one. We ran into, I saw this the other day when I was looking at the citations, which were a little bit messed up. Okay, this looks like it's right. That one's right. Yep. I'm not going to do that one yet, because the math stuff is a little bit finicky. Nope. 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 Yeah, I'll do that one. Alright, so this is a big chunk to go through. Z prime must first be computed. What is different here? Oh, just reference. What is different on this second hunk? No, okay, that one. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, and then this one is also wrong. I'll let the other one go through. Yep, let that in. Yep, give that. All right, git commit. Starting a full read through. GHPR create. Now let me do this one. All right, we'll push the branch there. December read through, fixing and extending. And I'm going to submit it. And with that, I think I'm going to wave goodbye to